I now introduce to you the ladies of Herview. Adrienne, the mental health counselor, Shauntay, the relationship expert, and Ernie, the military wife coach.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to Herview Podcast, What Women Really Think. I am Shawnee, your dating coach and self-love enthusiast.
And I'm Adrienne, your favorite mental health counselor. And today we have a special guest. But before we get into that, I want to say that our sister Ernie isn't with us this week only because she made a big move to Hawaii. So she's unpacking, getting settled in her new house. And we'll have her again next week.
It's all good. So, what you been up to this week?
I didn't really do too much. Today I pretty much relaxed. But yesterday I did go out to like this Thai restaurant with my boyfriend and just having a good time. People were in the streets, excited, honking. So it was a good vibe yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was a good vibe. I went out on my bike for the first time in a month. And I rode for 22 miles. I was a little disappointed. Usually I try to do at least like 30, 35 or something like that. But I mean, 22 is all right.
You should go back from a month. Like, give yourself a break.
I guess. The weather was beautiful, rightfully so, with all the events that were going on. But we do have to touch on a couple of current events before we get to the main event, right? So,
yeah. Wow. One of the things that I saw that happened this week was that the rapper, DaBaby, his brother had committed suicide. And one of the reasons that I really wanted to talk about it briefly is because a lot of people, first of all, let's talk about the fact that social media is like they're so mean on there. They're in the comments saying that it's his fault and that he wasn't looking out for his brother. And that's why it touched me. And I was like, oh no, I have to say something because you shouldn't put that type of guilt on somebody else.
Exactly.
Like, it's not fair. Like, people already go through the motions of what could I have done?
Yep.
I have done more. And it's like, for y'all to be in the comments saying negative things when he's already hurting is just very disheartening to me. And honestly, a lot of people are struggling right now. Like, COVID has like stressed people out.
And this election has stressed people out. So, people's mental health has been extremely sensitive, regardless of if you have an actual disorder or not. You have to take care of yourself. So I pray for his family and wish them the best of healing and stuff. But the internet has to learn when to, back off a little bit, or you need to learn when to, disassociate yourself with it.
Yeah.
Another sad news, really quick. So sorry to lose Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
He did over 8,200 episodes of Jeopardy. Wow. Yeah. So he fought a good fight. He had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And now he is at peace. And, we wish him and his family more healing. And, his legacy will live on.
Absolutely.
Forever.
Live. And that's the one thing that I can actually say, that makes you happy, knowing that someone got to live and enjoy what they do for a living and just be happy. So it's very sad, but I am happy that, he got to host that many shows. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That's a long run.
Yeah, that's like over 30 something seasons. I think it's like 37 seasons or something like that. It's really impressive. But to head to a brighter note, can we get a little cheers? We have a whole new president and Madam Vice President. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, 46. Congratulations, Kamala Harris. And if you don't know how to pronounce her name, Madam Vice President will do.
Okay.
And I think that's why it was nice, yesterday. I think that's why the sun was out all weekend.
Right? I loved every minute of it. Like, as soon as I heard about it, I opened the window and there was literally people screaming. You heard horns. Yeah. It was crazy. Like, you heard music. They was playing "Fuck Donald Trump" all day. I was like, oh. And I think I was taken back a little bit, but so happy and filled with joy because I live in Brooklyn, but it's a lot of non-colored people in the area that I'm in. But to see everybody still come together and they're celebrating and they're happy, it just made me feel really good to know like that in my direct community that people are excited for this.
They were, and I'm just more excited to have a country. See, he's been in there too long. You think business, right?
Right.
A country led by love and not hate. All right. So that's why the sun was shining. That's why it was 70-something degrees in November in New York. And, I just wish them a lot of luck in this presidency. And I just hope they hold up their end of the bargain. We got you there. Now do what we need you to do.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's important because, of course, you have the naysayers and all of that. But, yeah, we're still holding everybody accountable. But that does not mean that we can't be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hella happy. Donna was out of here. So.
And special shout out to Miss Stacey Abrams, who held it down for the whole state of Georgia. How you turn a whole red state blue, sis? You did that. Okay, and that HBCU alum. Okay, come on. Like, I'm here for all of it. Kamala, Keisha Bottoms, like, Black women lead for real. So put some respect on their name.
Period.
Yeah. So. Let's get into our amazing guest who does not shy away from politics or anything really that has things to do with basic human rights and human decency and can put a smile on anybody's face. I'm going to read you a little of his bio so you can get all warmed and amped up like I am, like we are. So Lisa Lampanelli fondly referred to him as an anal astronaut. Ariana Grande said praised him as a creative professional, and Mariah Carey, yes, the Mariah Carey, once gave him a disingenuous hug. Do you know what that is? To be kind of touched a little bit by Mariah, that is huge. Okay. Armed with a sardonic wit that was born from the streets of Brooklyn, Christopher Albert has been defiant in his pursuit of joining the ranks of today's funniest humorists, perhaps with a little more charm and eccentricity. He has many talents, and he has turned the biggest life turns into comedic gold. He is seasoned and was afforded the unique opportunity to study the craft of humor at the famed Comedy Store and Second City Hollywood. And I don't know if y'all know how huge Second City is, but it is like the improv school of the greats. The greats. He's got a lot of amazing peers with him in that. Okay, he is super successful. He's done many showcases, including his own show, Junk and Jam, which is it has comedic content comprised of satirical, animated graphics, comedic talk radio broadcast, the Junk and Jam Hour, and Junk and Jam Live, the comedic talk and sketch cablecast TV series. He has been on many stages, including the Apollo Theater, the Rosie O'Donnell Show, Billboard Music Awards, and had features on MTV and PBS. He is a jack of all trades, master of all, and we are super excited to have him join us this evening. We are bringing him in right now, Christopher Albert. Yay!
Hi.
Hi.
I was debating if it would have been funny that you came to me and I left. I wasn't.
You're like, and that concludes the interview.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you. We've been meaning to get you on here for the longest, and it had to be like the right opportunity, and I can't think of a better time than right now.
Right.
What a great weekend we are having.
Yes.
How did you feel? How are you feeling about the turn of events?
I don't know. It still feels, I wouldn't say surreal because I believe it, and I know part of obviously there's no more anxiety at the moment.
Mhm.
That part.
Um,
That part.
it's I'm not it's definitely an overwhelming feeling, but it's not about Joe.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Tell them who it's about. I'm interested.
Um, it, it's just, don't make me cry. But there's I have a unique position in, yes, I'm Puerto Rican, and yes, I'm bright as a glowworm. So no one would genuinely or just outwardly associate me other than a person of color, which that's just another topic for another day. But as we know, people of color could include or exclude lots of people of different
Yeah.
colors, right?
Yeah.
So just for me, just as much as respect as I have just for women,
Mm.
and and just to see that there's a woman in the White House who isn't in a position that is behind her husband is a
Come on.
really big deal.
Come on, Chris. That part right there. It is
Yes.
huge.
And I know there's lots of talk about, well, she isn't black, she's this, she's that, she's West Indian. But as Puerto Rican and as someone who's had women in my family who is Peruvian, Muslim, you know, West Indian,
Mm-hmm.
um, Jamaican, you name it. Women of
Mm-hmm.
all kinds. We've even have white women. Some of my brothers make mistakes, but
I hope they weren't part of the 55%.
That too. That
some of
too.
them live in Staten Island, so I can't tell you for sure. But there's a lot of people I'm not talking to at the moment. But
Heard you.
it. I think just overall, there's still a sense of overwhelm. It definitely feels like a 2008 moment,
Mm.
It does. It does.
but there's just, I don't know. It's just so much different. I definitely think more women need to be in charge. And obviously, again, we've had another, whether Republican or Democrat or whatever, we've
Mm-hmm.
we have a record-setting women in
Yeah.
office.
Yep.
Yeah. Do. It's amazing. I mean, honestly, when I heard the news, I was super excited for obvious reasons. But another reason people may not know, I am also a fan of Saturday Night Live. And
Yeah,
we have 4 years of Maya Rudolph, and I'm here for it.
yeah, that's right. More Maya Rudolph.
I am
Whose
here
mother,
for
the
it.
great Minnie Riperton.
Somebody,
Yeah.
come on. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Just saying. So, Christopher, you don't seem to obviously shy away from politics. Has there ever been a situation where you felt like, you do find the humor in anything? Do you ever feel like this is too soon? I might ruffle little feathers, or I'm just gonna go with it. It is what it is. Like, do you have any pieces like that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
When it comes to joke writing, as you're writing, you start really raw, you get all that out of the way, right?
Right.
And I'm almost in my 40s. So, but
Well,
even still, I started taking joke writing seriously at what, late 20s, right? But
mhm.
I was still thinking so very heavily and functioning.
Got it.
But you get, there's so many things any of us has to say about all sorts of things, right? But I purposefully put myself on a platform to talk to people and to
Right.
say, this is my world.
Right.
But what happens is in the world of comedy, because it's meant to be a universal platform, you have to include people in it. And you
Mm.
have to include people in that, whether you're a storyteller or a joke teller, whatever that may be. I don't want to bore you with all those specifics, but yes, there comes a time, you know, you need to learn how to read the room. You need to learn how to take the temperature.
Mm.
At the same time, it there is no you. Yes, you have a responsibility. However, nothing should come in the way of saying what you have to say.
Mm.
So it's just finding the right way to say that. And you're not going to please everybody.
Right.
That's not your job.
Right.
But you want more than less to laugh. So if you could
Yeah.
get more people on your side, then that's your job. So if you have to, you might love this dirty joke, or I wouldn't say dirty or crass. I'm dirty and crass, by the way. For you young comedians, dirty and crass, as Jerry Seinfeld taught, you play to the highest intelligence of the room, even if it is silly. Anyway,
That's the
but
whole
when
time.
you're talking about things that affect people, yes, you have to write a few jokes. You get to a better one, maybe a 10th joke in. It could be about the same subject. But if it is a timely subject where it could be a sore point for lots of people, you'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, especially during this time, I've seen like in your stories, you posted stuff about Biden. Have you lost fans due to this, or has people like hit you up in the DM? Or because I've noticed that
I'm
some
sorry.
fans.
I have to laugh. Adrienne, I don't mean to disappoint you, but I am not 100,000 status. Listen, I mean, that's not, again, I don't think that's anything you can control. It's not
Right.
about, for me, I mean, I would have loved to have voted for, I don't, whoever it was, obviously. We were all on whoever wasn't Donald Trump, right?
Basically. But at least, Kanye like conceded. We haven't heard from old Johnny yet.
Come on, that's my man. I love him.
That's the difference. Kanye comes from a place, however we think about him, he has come from a place of rejection
Mhm.
and finding success despite that rejection.
Yes.
Donald
Mhm.
Trump has been told yes all of his life.
Yep.
What do you want? Here you go. You can have it. And
Oh.
Adrienne, as you know, you can probably pick his psyche apart real easy.
Have him in the chair.
Mm.
Mental health professional over here.
Too much work for me. I wouldn't even dare.
Well, obviously, as you know, with how much tax he pays, he can't afford your service anyway. But
They need a go to jail song. The lose your job song is over now. It's the going to jail
They
song.
was killing that you about to lose your job so outside the White House.
I hope she got
all
paid
we
for
have
that.
to do is just keep the lock her up chant and just put a Hillary wig on him, and then everyone will be happy. His supporters, her supporters, everyone happy.
Oh my goodness, too funny. Okay, so you've worked with so many people, so many celebrities, so many comedians. Have you ever encountered anyone where you were like super excited to work with this person and then they didn't quite meet your expectations? Maybe they, succeeded it, or maybe it was like, why am I here?
Mm.
No. In the world of comedy, I've been disappointed in terms of working professionally in the entertainment part and producing shows.
Okay.
Yes, certainly. But that's with everybody. You start, the deeper you go in anything, you always have to keep in mind to learn to enjoy the process and to enjoy the craft, because you
Mm.
could easily get lost in, and the business side is just a whole different monster.
True. Very, very
But
true.
with that said, no, I mean, it's something you love, and at a certain point, what's the surprise? People are people. I don't think we should have any expectations for people to be one way or the other. And I think that's up to all of us to, and we were talking about reading the room, to read each other a little bit. And that comes with listening. And if we just listen, we'll know this person doesn't want us talking to them. So shut up. That's all it takes. And you won't get your feelings hurt at the same time. You just accept it.
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
So you know that you do like so many different things. What has been your craziest experience? Whether it's like something happening on set or, with a celebrity, like what is the craziest thing that has ever happened to you thus far?
The craziest? I remember we did on the Rosie O'Donnell show with the New York Boys Choir, and sometimes they don't really tell you who's going to be on the show. I think Lena Horne was on that day, but we were performing with Coolio. Also very fun, very high, and the surprise there, though, and we didn't know at the time, was Martin Lawrence was coming in. He was also being interviewed, because you never know how they produce shows. They'll line them up,
Right.
So that was fun. The unfun thing, the craziest thing, is one of the shows I was producing, I was doing a spot, and, sometimes we have green spots, so we let comedians come in. They bring people. The club loves that. You bring people, your people that you bring, they buy drinks, they pay the door, everyone's having a good time. That's how we pay our staff.
Yeah.
Because I was also stupid enough to say, yes, I'll manage this club too. But while producing and hosting, it's my job to get the show going. So this just terrible from the Bronx. I don't want to shame anyone, but she was a big girl. That's just matter of fact. And
so my face, I'm like,
she just had this weird, she just had this weird bit about pushing a stroller or something. It was just weird.
What?
But she went way over her time, so I had to go on the God mic, and that's just the mic that's off stage in the back, and say, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, this has been great. She has to go. But in true Bronx fashion, her and her drunk friend and her drunk boyfriend.
You keep coming from my borough.
They beat the shit out of me right there in the club. Can you believe that? Cops were called. Hair was cold. My hair was down to here, by the way, so it was my hair.
Oh no!
Wow. I guess that was a little bit crazy.
Yes. The good news at the end of that is I did get a restraining order.
Good for you.
You live to tell the story.
Not that I ever saw them again. Whatever.
Oh my God. It's like horrible.
Now, in that respect, if it was somebody famous, I'm fine with that. That's a great story. The story as is still a little embarrassing.
So, if you could do it all over again, would you change anything about your process or the journey that you took, or are you happy with the way everything is going?
You always tell yourself, I wish I would have started 10 years ago, 10 years before that.
Right.
But everything, right? But everything you do really prepares you for that next step anyway. So if you take anything out, something
Okay.
might be, whatever that variation, we don't know what that variant is. Everything's so specific.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, there's some personal things I wish I could change, but you never know how that's. So again, I guess it just goes back to acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
You just
that.
have to accept sometimes I'm just not good enough. Kidding, Madeline, I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
I don't
guys.
know if that was
Kidding. You're worthy.
I'm gonna have a headache by the time we get off of this. So
Oh my goodness.
you do so much. Like, what do you see as your end goal? Like, once you complete this, you're good forever. What do you, or where do you see yourself even?
There's no relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe during COVID, but not even.
A little bit.
A little bit. Let's relax now. Wait,
I cannot take it.
I think even this year, I've been rejected so much. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I've been able to write and pitch, whether it's, late night writing packets or, podcast competitions, or whatever the submission is.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know it. I have so many rejection notices to post. I would like to share them. It's just been a while. Although we did win an award recently.
You did.
We
Congratulations.
did. Thank you, Brooklyn Free Speech, Brick. But you know what? That's part of I think the more, at least for me, the more no's I get, I know I'm still in the right direction because that's how I put myself in check. That's how I keep myself accountable. If I'm not receiving any emails, I'm not putting anything out there.
Whew.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
So we're still getting emails of no's. So that lets me know I'm still you have to be in it to win it. So we're still trying. I'm still trying to get bigger platforms. And I think for me, and as you guys understand this, having platforms that not only help share, that you could share with other artists or other people, other entrepreneurs to help share their story, that keeps me, that's part of the motivation. Yeah.
It's the no is the next opportunity. It's all in perspective. So I definitely feel you on that. What advice do you have for the younger you or someone who is, trying to get discovered or be a writer or put their things out there? What do you say to them?
Just stop what you're doing and just run for president. It's much easier.
So easy. Anybody could do it.
So easy. Anyone. Shauntay is dying.
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious.
I think there's so many components to what shapes our perception about ourselves.
Yes.
And we like to say general things, follow your dreams. But sometimes those dreams are misunderstood. They aren't always supported. Someone else's dreams are placed upon you.
Very often.
Right? There's so many things to sift through. I think the only advice I could give to anyone, and we're all doing it, right? We've all had to find, there's parents out there who's had to find creative ways to teach their children because their children hate. being online. They want to be in school. They want to be with their peers, you know. Just even being a parent, you have to find different creative ways to adjust and to live. I think the main thing that I have learned is two things. And these aren't things that come out of me. These are things that were taught to me, and thankfully I kept. One of them is dare to fail. Dare to make that mistake. Dare to look silly. Dare, it doesn't matter. You have to do it. You have to step out on that faith. And obviously the work, you have to put in the work. It's not just faith alone. But you have to step out on that faith to say, I'm going to do the work and commit to it. One. So whatever it takes.
Yep.
So it's dare to fail. And I know I had a number 2 here somewhere.
Okay. That one was compact, so it could come back to you in Tourette's. It's fine.
It will come back. I should have written it down.
That's awesome. Well, it is that time where we answer some viewer questions. It is scenario time. Ding, 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 ding. I feel like we need a bell or some sound effect.
Something happening.
That part. All right, Adrienne, kick us off with the first question.
So this one isn't a scenario, but it's something that I saw the other day, right? And a couple of our viewers hit us up and was like, you guys have to discuss this. So I'm not sure, Chris, if you're familiar with the Breakfast Club, but they had a guest on, and basically the guest was saying that he feels like men deserve credit for not cheating. So I want to discuss this. Like, do you feel like men deserve more credit for not cheating than women do? Because
that's like saying, by the way, that for those young comedians, that's a great, and obviously Chappelle did that too. That's a great way. One of the great jokes is to compare it to something. But that's like saying, you know, that's like giving your child a reward for doing their homework or taking out the trash. Those are things they should be doing. What do you? You're not. It's that. No, that's what you're supposed to do. What do you want? Want a prize? Y'all want a medal?
They do. The guy said basically he was like, listen, I'm not saying you have to praise him, but I'm saying acknowledging the fact that I didn't cheat would be good. And it's like, but like, who just walks around like, thanks, babe, you didn't cheat on me?
Well, there's a few things happening there. First of all, I want to say shout out to my cousin Adrienne. Hey, Adrienne, who's also watching. That's Adrienne. So when it comes to, first of all, when it comes to men, cisgender men, what's the term we use? Just when you put a camera on, some people are just going to show off. So he could just be saying that, you know, just to be funny, just to, and you know, he's getting it when he gets home. Or some guys do purposely get with women who accept that.
Right.
And these women who are like that, and there's no judgment, but these women embolden these guys to feel that way and continue to do so, because not only they're with each other because they're not looking to grow. These relationships don't grow. They don't grow as persons. They never find what truly they're deserving of. That's what. Anyway, tangent.
Very true.
On the other side, I do think we can't just leave our feelings. We can't just expect it's feelings, it's talking, it's communication, and actions. All of those things say, I appreciate you. Right. I appreciate that you are the man in my life. You don't cheat on me. You treat me like a goddess. All of these things do need to be said, and vice versa. You are my queen. You know, now, as a gay man, we also understand, and I think women need to understand this. When you don't allow a guy, and it's nothing to feel insecure about, because you are you. And nobody, your man is only coming home to you at the end of the day. But if he likes to look at women, you need to make it comfortable for him to tell you that. Otherwise, he's going to keep it to himself.
Yep.
And you should be able to do the same. Oh, he has a nice haircut. Look at his shoes. Oh, honey, look, he has a great butt, right? And then he could go, yeah, I see it. I see what you see. Whatever that may be. I know it's a little stretch for some people, but that's what we're conditioned to. We're conditioned to not see the beauty in others, whether they're male or female. And then what happens? We fail to see the beauty in ourselves. And then what happens? We're so full of insecurity that not this one person that's right here is never going to be enough.
Yep. Adrienne says, or they're not insecure and need validation.
That's insecurity. Needing validation is insecurity.
It is. I mean, I'm all for, like,
at least from others. At least from others. We do need validation from the people we love.
Yeah.
Not forcefully.
Right.
We would obviously like it to just be natural.
Right.
I think that's irritating when someone like fishes for compliments. It makes me not want to. I don't like that. Like I offer compliments all the time, especially in a relationship. And I understand what he's saying. Like, this is something that he's really working hard at not doing. So if you're working hard at something, it's nice every now and then to hear somebody say, great job. Great writing. And it's not that you have to go to them and say, thanks for not cheating on me today. I appreciate you. It's more so, thank you for loving me. Thank you for just being with me. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for respecting me. Those kind of things. I don't think it has to necessarily be, I'm so proud of you for not cheating on me today. I know you were outside and it was tempting. But kudos to you. Like, I think it was taken a little out of context, or maybe I'm just seeing that extra perspective on it. But I mean, listen, just do the right thing, people, and respect each other.
It was very interesting. And then Angela Yee, she basically said, so then women should get credit too. And they were like, oh no, it's not, like, it's not the same. Like,
this is gonna flip the table.
For me, I think what both of you guys said is very true. Like, I do think in a relationship, there should be compliments, there should be some sort of validation there as well, and acknowledgement of the good things that are happening. But just as easy as it is for you to cheat, it is for a woman too. Like, let's not do that. Like, everybody could cheat. So if you want me to walk home every day and be like, oh, babe, you know, thanks for not cheating, then you should do that to me too. Thanks for not.
Like, high five, I didn't cheat today. Okay, go on.
I cheated today.
So, and looking at it from that perspective, yes. What Adrienne commented earlier, the other Adrienne, validation is important.
Yeah. I get it.
But you know who you're with.
Yeah.
You've already received those red flags long ago, and you just chose to ignore it.
Okay.
That's the whole story, right? Okay, so here's a doozy. My husband and I have been married for 2 years. He's white and I'm black. We have never really discussed politics until this pandemic. We seem to be on the same page when it comes to Black Lives Matter, and I'm happy about that since we plan to have kids one day. Recently, over dinner, my husband revealed he voted for Trump again. I was enraged, and he told me it's not a big deal because New York is a blue state. Am I overreacting, or should I just let it go? Can you be in a relationship with political views are different from yours? Like,
Yeah, and that's okay.
Right.
One, but we're not talking about, oh, I didn't feel like voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, so I voted for John McCain.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
We're talking, this is not about ideology or politics. This is about understand. First of all, the man has no respect for women, period.
That part. That
Let's just
part.
take everything else out and strip everything down to its bare minimum.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So when you have someone, and yes, sure, you are right. But you know what? Why didn't you vote for the third party then? Then you could have voted for Jo Jorgensen. She's a woman. She's a third party, and she's neither. And New York would have still won Biden.
I can't believe that was his main thing. Like, it's a blue state, it doesn't matter. But it's like that just takes away from saying that your votes don't count. And clearly they do. They do. If this election shows you nothing else, is that your vote matters.
Your vote matters. Your vote should be your own to make,
Yes.
even
Yes.
in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm going to say the same thing, girl. You knew who you married.
For me, I feel like what we said, your vote is your vote. You get to vote for anybody that you want to vote for. But for me, it would be more so of a discussion of why did you feel like he was the best candidate? Because now I want to know, like, what about Trump did you like? Did you like that he was separating, families? Like, what did you like that you said he needs a second term? Because then that'll help me understand where you stand with certain things. And then, that's going to cause a problem.
Right.
So,
right.
I think 2016 is different from 2020.
Yeah, very, very much so. Very much so. So I have one more question.
let's do it.
Here we go. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you have done?
Oh. What would my family assume? Got into a fight. It's been a while since I've gotten stupid drunk, and maybe I got drunk and I cussed somebody out, and I should have just walked away, but I had to have the last word.
Adrienne, what about you?
I think the family would think the same thing. They would have been like, who she fought now? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not even like I'm like that, but they probably would have been like, oh, her attitude, her mouth. Yeah. Got her.
We're talking a night in jail, right?
One.
Her mouth. Her attitude.
Yeah. Or I finally got caught for prostitution. That could be.
I think that's what they would think, and they would come get me, and they would say it's not my fault. So
it would probably be the same for me because I am so quiet and usually pretty calm. But they know, like, I'm also an Aries and I'm very impulsive. And yes, I'm using my zodiac.
Fighting.
Judge, it's not my fault. It's the moon I was born under.
Mercury is in retrograde. I was feeling kind of antsy.
And then she flips the table.
Love it. That's one of my favorite questions.
So, Christopher, can you please let us all know where we could find you and what upcoming things you have for us to look forward to?
Well, you can find out everything about me on junketjam.com. That easy. Um, we have weekly live shows every week, Mondays tomorrow, the Junket Jam Hour, where I interview artists and musicians and authors, as we did with Shauntay, of all kinds. Excuse me,
Yes.
burping. We
Sunday.
have some new episodes of Junket Jam Live coming up, including Shauntay is on there. Some very good ones that we'll be talking about a whole bunch of issues for the day. You know, we try to keep it as evergreen as possible, so when we're done editing, it's still ready to go.
Right.
Working for 2021, a Crack Baby's Bible, my childhood stories, both the podcast I'm working on and the one-man show. What
Love it.
else? And we'll just be doing what we normally do, you know, still trying to keep New York City alive with
Yeah.
artistry, you know? That's
Yeah,
what we
that is what we do. You do a wonderful job at it, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to work with you and to have you here on Herview. You
don't
are an
patronize me.
amazing. You're amazing. You're such an amazing human being, and I love your freaking guts. So
As are
I,
you.
I thank you.
And I just want to thank you both for, you know, I know Adrienne, you do a very important work.
Thank
And I don't know how thankless it can be for many, but it's very important. And Shawnee,
Thank you.
imagine that's it.
This is why I'm flipping tables. Oh my goodness! But yes, go ahead.
I'm just saying you do a lot. You do a lot of great work, and I love that you're sharing this platform, and I love what you ladies are doing, and keep up the great work.
Thank
you.
you so much. So
If
for
you
those,
haven't done so, visit divinginstilettos.com and get Shauntay Dunbar's book. Stupid.
Love it.
I love it. Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify, and all streaming services. We drop this episode every Tuesday. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Make sure you're following us on Herview Podcast on Facebook. Make sure you're following us in our Facebook group on Instagram. And yeah, we will be back next week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in with the ladies of Herview. Herview can be found on these social media platforms. And for your podcasting pleasures, you can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. Thanks for watching. Bye.